The year is 1939. Europe stands on the brink of war. A complex machine, the Enigma, rests in the hands of Nazi Germany, its intricate workings a mystery to the Allies. This machine, capable of encrypting messages with millions of possible combinations, becomes the Nazis' shield, cloaking their communications in secrecy. Unbeknownst to many, the cracking of the Enigma code would be a turning point in the war. A team of brilliant minds at Bletchley Park, England, worked tirelessly to break the code, their efforts shrouded in secrecy. The pressure was immense, the task daunting, yet these code breakers persevered. Among them was Alan Turing, a mathematician whose genius led to the creation of a machine known as the bomb. This device, capable of rapidly testing Enigma settings, proved instrumental in deciphering German messages, providing vital intelligence to the Allies. As the war raged on, deception became a powerful weapon. The Allies knew that brute force alone wouldn't be enough to secure victory. They needed to outsmart the enemy, to make them see what wasn't there and to believe in illusions. This was psychological warfare at its finest. Enter the Ghost Army, a unit of American artists, sound engineers, and illusionists. These were not your typical soldiers. They were painters, sculptors, and sound experts, recruited for their unique skills. Their canvas was the battlefield, and their tools were anything that could create a convincing illusion. Their mission to create a phantom army, a spectacle designed to mislead the enemy. They used inflatable tanks that looked real from a distance, and decoy aircraft that could fool even the most seasoned reconnaissance pilots. Every detail was meticulously planned to create the perfect illusion. Using inflatable tanks, sound trucks mimicking the rumble of armored divisions, and fake radio traffic, they created a symphony of deception. The sound trucks played recordings of troop movements and construction, making it seem like entire divisions were on the move. The fake radio traffic added another layer of authenticity, convincing the enemy that these phantom units were real. They conjured illusions of troop movements and deployments. The Ghost Army's operations were so convincing that they often drew enemy fire, a testament to the effectiveness of their deceptions. They had to be constantly on the move, setting up and dismantling their illusions to keep the enemy guessing. Operation Fortitude, their grandest performance, aimed to deceive the Germans about the location of the D-Day landings. The Ghost Army played a crucial role in this operation, creating fake divisions and misleading the Germans into thinking the invasion would occur at Pas-de-Calais, rather than Normandy. The Ghost Army's audacious tactics proved remarkably effective. Their deceptions were so convincing that they managed to divert significant German forces away from the actual landing sites. This misdirection was a key factor in the success of the D-Day landings. German reconnaissance aircraft, fooled by the elaborate ruse, reported back on phantom divisions. The Germans were convinced that the main invasion force was still waiting to strike at Pas-de-Calais, leading them to hold back their reserves. This diversion of crucial German troops away from Normandy allowed the Allies to establish a foothold on the beaches and begin their push into occupied Europe. The success of the D-Day landings was a turning point in the war, and the Ghost Army's contributions were invaluable. The deception played a significant role in the success of the D-Day landings. Without the Ghost Army's efforts, the landings might have faced much stiffer resistance, potentially altering the course of the war. The Ghost Army's story remained classified for decades, their contributions unknown to the public. These brave men, who used their artistic talents to save lives and secure victory, were unsung heroes of the war. Only recently have their exploits come to light, revealing a fascinating chapter of World War II where art and ingenuity converged on the battlefield. Today, the Ghost Army is celebrated for their creativity and bravery, a testament to the power of deception in warfare. In the Pacific Theater, another secret weapon emerged from an unexpected source: the Navajo language. This language, spoken by the Navajo people, is incredibly complex and was completely unwritten at the time. Its unique structure and tonal qualities made it an ideal candidate for encoding military communications. The U.S. Marines, recognizing the potential of this linguistic treasure, recruited Navajo men to serve as code talkers. These men underwent rigorous training to develop a code based on their native language, which they would use to transmit vital messages during the heat of battle. Recruited by the U.S. Marines, Navajo men were trained as code talkers, using their complex, unwritten language to transmit vital messages in the heat of battle. The training was intense and required the men to memorize a vast array of military terms and phrases, all translated into Navajo. This code was so intricate that it could only be understood by those who were fluent in the language and had undergone the specialized training. The code talkers were deployed to various battlefronts, where their skills became indispensable. The Japanese, baffled by the unfamiliar sounds of Navajo, were unable to decipher the code. Despite their best efforts, the Japanese codebreakers could not crack the Navajo code, which remained unbroken throughout the war. This gave the Allied forces a significant advantage, as they could communicate securely without fear of interception. The code talkers' ability to send and receive messages quickly and accurately was a game-changer in many critical battles. The code talkers, with their rapid and accurate transmissions, played a crucial role in numerous battles, including Iwo Jima and Okinawa. Their contributions were not just limited to these famous battles, they were involved in many other operations across the Pacific theater. The speed and accuracy of their communications often meant the difference between victory and defeat, saving countless lives and ensuring the success of many missions. Their contribution to the war effort remained largely unknown for years, their service shrouded in secrecy. The code talkers were sworn to secrecy about their work, and their achievements were not publicly acknowledged for decades. This lack of recognition was partly due to the classified nature of their missions and the ongoing need to keep the code a secret in case it was needed in future conflicts. It was not until 1968 that the Navajo code talkers' story was declassified, finally giving them the recognition they deserved. The declassification of their work allowed the public to learn about their incredible contributions and the vital role they played in the Allied victory. Recognition ceremonies and honors followed, but for many of the code talkers, this acknowledgement came too late, as some had already passed away, without ever seeing their heroism celebrated. The bravery and ingenuity of these Native American soldiers serve as a testament to the power of language and culture, even amidst the chaos of war. Their story is not just one of military success but also of cultural pride and resilience. The Navajo code talkers exemplify how a unique cultural heritage can contribute to global events in unexpected and profound ways. Their story is a potent reminder of the unsung heroes who fought for freedom on distant shores. The legacy of the Navajo code talkers continues to inspire new generations, reminding us of the diverse contributions that have shaped our history. Monuments and memorials now stand in their honor, ensuring that their bravery and service will never be forgotten. While the European and Pacific theaters often dominate accounts of World War II, there was another crucial front that played a significant role in the Allied victory. This was the China-Burma-India (CBI) theater, a region that saw intense and grueling combat, yet remains lesser known in the annals of history. The CBI theater was a vast and challenging expanse, stretching from the eastern borders of India, through the dense jungles of Burma, and into the rugged terrain of China. It was here that Allied forces, comprising American, British, Indian, and Chinese troops, came together to fight against the relentless Japanese advance. The campaign in this theater was marked by its unique and formidable challenges. The dense jungles, steep mountains, and harsh weather conditions made every movement and operation a test of endurance and resilience. Allied forces had to adapt to the environment, learning jungle warfare tactics and relying heavily on local knowledge and support. Collaboration was key in the CBI theater. American and British forces worked closely with Chinese troops, sharing resources, intelligence, and strategies. This cooperation was not without its difficulties, as language barriers and differing military doctrines sometimes led to misunderstandings. However, the shared goal of defeating the Japanese brought these diverse groups together in a united front. One of the most remarkable aspects of the CBI theater was the logistical effort required to keep the Allied forces supplied. American airmen undertook the perilous task of flying over the Himalayas, a route known as the Hump, to deliver essential supplies to Chinese forces. These flights were fraught with danger, as pilots faced enemy fire, severe weather, and the treacherous terrain of the world's highest mountain range. The Hump airlift operations were a lifeline for the Chinese forces, providing them with the necessary equipment and provisions to continue their fight against the Japanese. The bravery and determination of these airmen were instrumental in maintaining the momentum of the Allied campaign in the region. On the ground, British and Indian soldiers faced their own set of challenges. The jungles of Burma were a harsh and unforgiving environment, where soldiers had to contend with not only the Japanese forces but also the threat of disease, monsoon rains, and logistical difficulties. The determination and courage of these soldiers were crucial in holding the line and pushing back the Japanese advance. The monsoon rains turned the battlefields into quagmires, making movement and supply lines even more challenging. Soldiers had to deal with malaria, dysentery, and other tropical diseases that took a heavy toll on their health and morale. Despite these hardships, the Allied forces persevered, driven by their commitment to the cause and the camaraderie they shared with their fellow soldiers. The sacrifices made by the soldiers in the CBI theater are often overlooked in traditional narratives of World War II, yet their efforts played a crucial role in containing Japanese expansion in Asia and contributed significantly to the overall Allied victory. The CBI theater was a critical front in the global conflict, demonstrating the interconnected nature of the war. The battles fought here had far-reaching implications, affecting the course of the war in other theaters and contributing to the eventual defeat of the Axis powers. The CBI theater serves as a reminder that World War II was a truly global conflict, fought on multiple fronts by soldiers of diverse nationalities. The contributions of these soldiers, regardless of their nationality, were vital to the success of the Allied efforts. Their stories, often overshadowed by the more prominent theaters of war, deserve to be remembered and honored. The bravery, resilience, and sacrifices of the soldiers in the CBI theater are a testament to the human spirit and the power of international cooperation in the face of adversity. As we reflect on the history of World War II, it is important to recognize the contributions of all those who fought, regardless of the theater in which they served. The CBI theater, with its unique challenges and diverse forces, played a pivotal role in the Allied victory and deserves its place in the broader narrative of the war. By remembering and honoring the sacrifices made in the CBI theater, we ensure that the legacy of these brave soldiers lives on, inspiring future generations to appreciate the complexities and global nature of World War II.